Well, hello, farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose. And today, as promised, we are back on North Brabant to do a little harvesting. But before we get there, I was moving forward in time and found out that we had a great demand on rye. So we're going to be selling off a little grain. Let me bring you up to speed on where we're at. You may have remembered in our previous version of North Brabant, about 5:30 in the morning was where we started, and at the time, field number 8 was 3/4 of the way harvestable. Well, I've since fast-tracked time to 11:50, and we are now 3/4 of the way harvestable. I hate it when FarmSim does this. So basically, while I was fast tracking through time, the great demand for rye came up, and so that's what we're going to do. My original plan was just to go ahead, haul the rye off, sell it, and then in the intro for the video, I was just going to tell you guys about selling off the rye and not show you hauling it. But ran into a little issue here, and I thought I would bring it up for those who might be considering playing this map, because I do get people on a daily basis ask me about this map, how to download it, install it, and so there's interest in it, and so I might as well point out the deficiencies of many that are on this map. So you notice here I've got my pipe here for getting grain out of it, and so if I jump into my trailer here and back up to it, we should be able to get grain out, right? So if we back up underneath it, and I hit the old trigger here, you'll see that we get wheat, 300,000 liters of it. We got no barley, got no canola, we got a little corn, but apparently we got nothing else. Can't do nothing else. So that's kind of a bummer deal, and I thought, well, seriously, they didn't tie everything into one spout? So, okay, well, where's the spout for this one? Not there. And if we run over here in between the two, it ain't there either. And you know, this corner's always been like a dead spot. If you're running Courseplay and you try to come through here with it, it's going to screw Courseplay up. It's kind of glitchy over in that corner. So, where is the sell point or the trigger point for this? So we pull up the wireframe, and it doesn't exist. You can see there's not one on the side. There's not one around the back. If you look, you can see the polygons over here. You know, this narrow polygon right there. That's the trigger point for the conveyor belts. But you don't see one of those over here anywhere, do you? Nope, there is no sell point or no trigger point at all for this silo. How ridiculous is that? I mean, come on. They fall short on so many different levels. And guys, this is the quote-unquote final version of this map. I can't believe they put it out like this. It's just, did they not play the map at all and go, oh, well, I got to sell some rye. Oh, well, how am I going to get it out of the building? That's a good question. So anyways, the solution I'm going to have to use is to jump into the old JCB and throw the extra conveyor belt in there. Luckily, we have the extra conveyor belt. And it was thrown into the lake over there, so we reset it to the farm, which, you know, that's a good thing now. So we have it. So let's unpack this guy, and we'll use it to load up. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out in case anybody was wondering why they, you know, I'm 40-something issues into this, and I'm just now getting a high demand for some of the multi-fruits. So you guys who are playing this may not have run into this issue yet. So, because I know there are a few of you guys who are playing this map. So anywho, thought I'd point that out to you. Kind of a little bit of a strange goof. Nothing surprises me on this map anymore, though. They just such a poor job on quality on this map. They put so much into it, but yet so little. It just the trees, the trigger point here, the arrow right there in the corner, the Bermuda silage pit over there that's glitched, the tiny sell point over there for the grass is an issue. What else? There's been so many little issues that have come up on this map. It just cracks me up. Get that off my screen. Yeah. I mean, how you leave things like that out of the map, I don't get. Well, I thought about everything else. Oh, haha, there's a funny little joke. Let's make it where they can't get the grain out of the grain silo. Just silly. So anyways, we've got rye to sell off. We'll make a little bit of money on that. So the game plan for today is to harvest the fields, and we are going to rent a combine so that we can do multiple combines in the field at one time. I just thought it'd be something different to do. So that's what we're going to do today. So the game plan is going to be to use this as an offload. We'll pick up an auger wagon, and we'll use that to unload the combines, bring that to the side of the field to our field side container, which will be this truck, offload into it, and then this will shuttle to the grain silo. We'll be using a little auto combine today, a little course play today, and a little manual labor as well. So I could get on the inside here and drive. Anywho's, so that's what the game plan is today. Just drives me nuts though. That glitch is just stupid. That's one of those things that you just, I don't know. I think I can go into the Giants editor and add the rest of those fruits into the downspout that's on the four main fruits. Should be able to go into that and do it. Confession, I've never tried anything else like that, but I'm pretty good with computer code, and so I might do that later on. I might take it and throw it in Giants Editor and see if I can edit the script for it to include the remaining multi-fruit. I didn't even see how much money we made there. Should have been around 20, 24,000, 25,000. Somewhere in that area. Just rough math. Alright, so back to the farm we go. We'll make one more load to the grain depot. I know I'm flying and driving reckless. Just trying to get it done, without taking too much of y'all's time to haul grain. That's got to be somewhat boring. It's fun to see the numbers, how much did we make and so forth and so on. But I know it's not your most exciting thing to see Moosey hauling grain to the co-op. All right. So anyways, we'll get this knocked out real quick, and then we'll head over to the field and get our equipment set up over there, and then we'll we'll get to doing some harvesting. I'm hoping that these fields will ripen here in the next little bit. I mean, it's been what, almost 6 hours since it first started to turn, and I would think by now it would be ready to go. But you never know with farm sim. It always cracks me up though how that works, because the bottom 2/3 of it ripen first, right? Well, I did 2 headlands when I planted that field. I did 2 headlands and then did all my seeding. And yes, I seeded from the bottom of the field up. But again, I started with 2 headlands. So shouldn't you have a headland, across the top ripe already? It's just silly, that part of the game. And I hate that the fact that it just basically at some point it says, okay, everything is ripe, and it just, from the top of the screen down, it transitions down and ripens everything at once. There's no, it doesn't matter when you plant the field, it's going to ripen it. As long as it was all planted within the same day or a few hours of gameplay. Like these fields down here will ripen, this canola field will ripen at the exact same time that barley field does up there. And it was planted well after that barley field was. And that's just absolutely ridiculous to me. You'd think they could have made that function a little bit better in the game. But then again, if I planted a field at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, and I don't even need to be here. 6 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, and planted the south field at 3 in the afternoon, they're going to mature on the same day in real life, or theoretically they would. I've had one cornfield get ready to harvest and another cornfield not even be close before, just because of soil amenities and things of that nature. But that's in real life, where one day is one day, whereas in this, 1 hour is basically a day in this game. And that's the reason I don't think that the fields should mature at the same time, because the time structure in this is such that, really 24 hours is a growth cycle in this game, or a growing season in this game. So if you broke that down, really an hour is a day. And so it should be treated such in the growth cycle. If something is planted at 6 a.m., it should mature an hour earlier than the next field. So that's just my own particular feelings on it. Others may disagree with me. Alright, so we'll head to the farm here. Well, actually, yeah, well, head to the farm because I'm going to need this at the farm in just a minute. I'm going to get by you. Haha. She's like a rolling roadblock. We have a battle. She likes to get out there in my way when I'm coming through. Alright, so we'll pull this guy into the farm here and whip it around and park it. So, let's see if we can get this field matured up so we can start harvesting it. Let's go up to 1 o'clock. Oh, look. Another great demand. Wood chips. So do we go haul wood chips off? It's interesting. Let's see where we're at. Oh, field's starting to go. Well, good. We can actually do some harvesting now. Alright, only took till 1:45 in the afternoon. Stupid. Alright, so the game plan, like I said, we're going to do some harvesting. We're going to do multi-combine. So I got the other case sitting over here. And we're going to jump into the store. And I figure what we'll do is just, rather than spend the money to buy one, I'll just rent one. And that way we'll see, because I'm not really sure how it's going to work with these fields. I did go ahead and download and install this New Holland combine pack that's been on FarmSim's mod site on farming-simulator.com /beta. And it gives you 4 different combines. They're a little bit different than the in-stock game combines. We're going to grab this guy here and rent it. It's $900 an hour versus $298,000 to purchase. So we're just going to rent that for, let's say 4 hours. We should be able to get most of this done in 4 hours. If not, we'll re-rent. So we'll rent that. I don't know what it is. This doesn't go away, so I have to hit escape to get out of that screen. And it doesn't want to go away. Come on. There we go. Alright, header. Let's see. What header do we want to use? Let's get the modded header. As you can see, this pack comes with like 4 headers in it. And maybe even that Kipper doesn't come with it. It comes with these 4 heads. You go with the 32. That would be. It's about the same size as what we're using on the case. Yeah, we'll use that. All right, so we'll grab that guy. Rent it. 4 hours. $800. And we sit in this little white screen. Alright, and then we need to purchase an auger wagon. So we're going to grab this guy. Do you want to purchase it or rent it? Purchasing won't hurt. I like auger wagons. They're more what I see around here. Somebody asked me one time, why use an auger wagon instead of take a truck into the field and just unload combines? You'd sink a truck in the field. If I tried to drive that guy into the field with a full load of grain, he would most likely sink. Come on. Oh, come on. There we go. In the yard. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to get all that stuff delivered to the farm because it would take too much time to drive over there and get it and bring it back over here. So reset. Reset. I know I like to go get the equipment from there normally, but it takes so long to drive over there, get it, bring it back to the farm. I feel like I'm wasting y'all's time if I do that. So so I just, for purposes of making the video, it's just easier to go ahead and have it delivered to the farm. If I was doing all this stuff off camera and setting it up, I'd just go drive over there and get it and everything. But I don't like to go buy this stuff and bring it to the farm ahead of time, because I want you guys to see what I'm actually doing. So, all right, we got 3 hours and 58 minutes on this bad boy. So these are, if you haven't seen these yet, hadn't worked with them yet, they're pretty good little combines. They're black instead of blue. The tire textures are different on them. The suspension on them, if you can see, is quite looser than the in-game stuff. See how it bounces around and wiggles? The modeling on it is nice, you know. Very cool. So let's get around this truck. And we'll get over here and come to a stop. Alright, so let's get the case fired up as well. He's going to be our lead bad boy today. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to run these guys in transition with each other. So one right after the other, and go from there. So we'll unpack this guy. As soon as he's ready to go, we need to bring our head down just a little bit so our thrasher's actually hitting it. Yeah. All right. So we'll bring up Auto Combine, and the only thing you need to make sure that you have checked if you're going to do this is you got to have Auto Combine on, and we're going to use left side active for this, going around in circles. You need to make sure that you put Distance Keeper on. That will keep the two combines from running into each other. Eventually, they're going to turn and come head to head with one of each other. So that will keep that. And then also, it'll keep the trailing combine from running in to the lead combine. So just make sure you get that checked off. So we're going to check that. I'm going to go ahead and just set into the field, hire my worker, and let that be on its way. And then we'll just come back over here, get the New Holland, and do the exact same thing with it. We'll unpack it, pull on over here to the side, and I'll go ahead and bring up that, check that. Auto Combine is on, everything is good. Get to going. I can't adjust this head for some reason. I've looked in the help menu. It doesn't seem to be in there anywhere. So I guess I can't adjust the thresher on this one. So is what it is. Oops. Hard help off. Back up. Let's turn that to chop straw. I don't want swath. There we go. I don't understand what's going on with my engine tab. You're supposed to be able to tab through just the vehicles that are running by holding down Control and Shift. And lately, that hadn't been happening. It seems like since the patch came out, it tabs through vehicles that aren't running. And I don't get that. I don't understand why it's doing that. So I'm going to run through here and head down and try to catch that case on the back leg. He's got about 56% full. So the trick to making this work, if you're going to do dual combines like this, is dump them when they're about 50% and just keep them empty. That way no one ever stops. They just keep on rolling. If you get to 80%, if you wait until like the lead guy's at 80% to dump him, well, the back one's going to be around 60 or 70, and you run the risk of the two of them, or the back one, stopping because it reaches 100% while you're unloading this one. So just keep that in mind. Oh, my cruise control's high. I think that's right. Get my cruise control set. Alright. Looks good. Alright, so we'll get this guy unloaded real quick. And as soon as he is done, which he is, we'll just spool off and head back down the leg and pick up the New Holland, and we'll do the same thing with it. Ultimately, this would be awesome with 3 combines. I just don't think these fields are big enough. Now, if I was doing a map like States, oh yeah, I could see myself doing 3 combines on that baby. 3 combines would be outrageous, wouldn't it? Get 2 chasers and 3 combines, and you might need 2 field side units. But how cool would that be? Set it up like a contractor came in and plowed and did a field. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but it is a sight. I mean, ultimately I love gang plowing because usually the tractors run right on each other. But if you ever get a chance to be out in Kansas or somewhere else like that during harvest time, and a contractor's in the field harvesting wheat or whatever it may be, and they've got 3, 4, 5 combines working like this where they're in a straight line, and they're just kind of set off in a wedge going through the field, and it is the coolest thing to see. Looks like little steps being cut into the field when they do that. So pretty cool thing to watch. So we'll let this guy make his turn, and then we'll get over here and see if we can get a little more out of him. And then we'll dump this guy into our field side container. So I told you I'm going to use a little course play on this. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do most of this grain manually. But when the field side container fills up, I'm going to need to go dump it. So when I go dump it, I'm going to need this guy to tend to the field and make sure that the combines stay empty. I should be able to dump and get back before this thing fills up because it holds quite a bit of grain. But to do that, I'm going to need course play automating this guy. So I'm just going to record a real simple course right now. That let me get my pipe out so I want to record this. It works right. I'm just going to record a real simple course that runs back here to the field side container and brings it into unload. And I'll set my weight point right here in the middle. And then that way, when I drive off, this guy will be able to run through the field. Without this little course, though, it wouldn't work. So I need this course. Let's see, 47% on the New Holland, 13% on the Case. So we're pretty good so far. It usually takes 2 full auger wagons to fill up this field side container. So, alright, with that filled, we can just pull back around here to the field and stop that. And now I'm going to be using the overloader mode on this and use four-wheel drive. Now under Combine, a lot of times when you guys see me do this, I'll set it up and I'll tell it to manually lock on to a single Combine. But for this, because he's going to be unloading both, I leave it in automatic. And as long as he's sitting in the field, he'll be able to see both Combines and get them unloaded. Oops, almost ran into it. Got a little squirrely there. So if you notice, the other Combine was coming in and he stopped. That's that distance keeper, keeping them apart so that they don't run into each other. I could have done this with Courseplay, but I'll be honest with you, Courseplay is a pain in the butt to do it in, because basically you have to do it just like I set the plows up for gang plowing. You've got to calculate the width of both heads combined. Then you've got to, that's going to be your working width. And then you have to come up with the, then you've got to come up with the offset for each of them. And, with these, you got to offset both of them. You got to offset one to the right, one to the left. And that way, because you've got the overhang on both sides of the Combine. So, it's not hard to do. It's just a pain in the butt to do. And it's so much easier with Auto Combine. I don't love Auto Combine, but for things like this, it's real simple to do. And works pretty darn good. So we'll get this guy unloaded. But anyways, going back through this. So you want to have, you're in Combine mode or Overloader mode. You want to come in and leave this for doing multiple Combines. Leave it in automatic search. Start at least 50% is a good number to start at. That way, when whichever one of them gets to 50%, you go unload it. And by the time you get that one unloaded, you can get to your next one and unload it. So this guy is at 0. The other one's at 46. So I'm going to run up here and get in position to unload it. Probably on the down leg, not on the... I'll let him make his turn. And I'll grab him on the down leg. Ooh, that'd be a pretty good screenshot right there for this. Right there. So we'll unload this real quick. And we'll keep going through this. So it's just something different. This is something I've been thinking about doing for a while now. doing a dual combine video. Like I said, I'd love to be playing a bigger map and do 3 or 4. I wanted to do this in multiplayer for a long time, but like I said, we never were able to really get multiplayer, everybody's schedules together, with some people having kids and their lives kind of change around. We weren't really able to get the multiplayer going. We'll probably try to. Conversations were had last week about revisiting multiplayer and trying to do something once a week at least. So it would be cool to do something like that in multiplayer, but we'll see. We'll see if we can work it out. Gang plowing and multiple combines would be cool. Alright, so we'll take this guy over here, dump it, and that should be enough to justify our run to the grain silo. So we'll bring this guy in here real quick, pop it into the truck. Alright, so going over this one more time, you're in overloader mode. You're going to make sure that your combine is set to automatic and that your unload, you start at 50%. So when the combine gets 50% full, you go ahead and go unload it. Don't do 70-80% because your second combine will end up getting full and stopping on you. And depending on where you're sitting at in the field, your second combine could be your lead combine and you end up with a mess there. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and say drive course for this. And I'll grab this guy and head on over to the grain silo with it. So if you notice, I didn't use a course to set this guy because we're not using course play. But what I did do was I set it in a specific spot on the ground where I could, basically where I could hit it in the same place every time. So what I did was I pulled it just to the right of the gravel road, and right there I put the front tires right in that little rutted area, and that way I can basically do the same thing over and over and over again and recreate the same placement so it won't mess up course play at all. Probably won't need it though. Like I said, it's such a short run to the grain silo here that I should be able to just run in here, clear my load, and get in and out with no problems. Alright, so the mirrors on this thing just don't work for me. So I can't even see the rear end of my trailer in those mirrors. They're just horribly placed. It's going to take some time once I get the track IR in. I'm going to have to drive with some of these trucks and see if I can figure out how to make the mirrors work better for me. It may even get the mirror mod and mess around with it a little bit and see if I can't make it work for me. So I'm recording this video on Thursday, and then Friday I'm going to be getting my track IR. So you guys will be watching this while... Oh, yes, I got past it. You guys will be watching this while I'm at home trying to figure out the track IR system and getting it to work. So Oh, we have some issues over here. So anyways, my whole plan was, see, I could just pull this in right here. Boom, and I'm in the same spot every time. So let's go figure out what is messed up over here in this field. Stop this guy. Now why is the case... Oh, silly. Got a lot of problems right here. So let's get in the case and turn him off. Let the New Holland finish its run. Alright, let that guy go do his thing. Jump to the New Holland, which stopped, so I can't tab into it. Frustrating. Alright, start this guy up. It'd be nice if there was a way to specify don't stop the engine on completion, because I would like for it to stay running. Just because it's easier to get back into it. Oh, you know what? I bet I know why I couldn't adjust the head. I wasn't on the head. Well, I'm an idiot. Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. It just dawned on me when I was able to move the tilt on the pipe that I was in the combine. I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe if I go get on the head, I could actually make the head cut. So, yeah. Is there 2 passes right here? Looks like there's enough for another pass. Let's go ahead and cut this real quick, just so we can get in and out of this field. And I'll just manually do this one. And let that guy finish up there. There we go. And then we'll run this guy over to the next field. We'll let the case finish up the rest of that. And we just keep on going through this. We'll get as much of a harvest as we can get done. So this video might be a little bit long today. One, because I forgot what time I started at. I know I'm 30 minutes into it, because at least 30 minutes, because we messed around with that grain haul, and I still got used up 24 minutes of this guy. So, but it might be a little bit long of a video. I don't think you guys care. Alright, so we'll grab this guy and bring him over. See if we can unload the 57% in the case. So we'll start pulling some grain out of him real quick. Nice. Alright, so we got to get into the case, refire him up. And we'll get him transferred over to the other field real quickly. So what's been going on in the farm sim world? A couple of little things I thought I'd pass along to you. I do know this today is, like I said, it's Thursday for me. It's Friday for you. I will let you know, Timber, I was talking just the other day in the video about the 1050 and wishing that Timber would go ahead and make some changes to it to get it functioning right with 1.3, and he has done so. Yesterday afternoon, he released a 1.3 version for it. So if you guys want that, it is out there. Check out his Facebook site, or if you want to go back and look at the update that I did on the 1050, it gives the link to the download for it, which is on that 3D modding site. And you can get it from there, and the update is there on the 3D modding site where he's keeping his files. So check that out. That'll be good if you guys are fans of the 1050. I'll be honest with you, I haven't played with it yet to see what changes he's made with it, but hopefully, it gets rid of the whole sliding issue. But I do know there is an update out. It's funny that I talked about it and then all of a sudden it just happened, so I was like, ooh, yay. But he's pretty stable as far as getting updates out, so it didn't surprise me that he took care of that. Alright, so, oops, got a problem. The New Holland's at 100%. What else is going on? Yeah, no, I just drove through a fence, didn't I? Yeah. So much for realistic. What else is happening? There was something else going on. Not too much then. Apparently not enough. The, update on Colborough. I finished planting the field that we were in. I did plant a second field, get that done. And then I went and mowed grass for a little bit. Made some hay. So now when we are back on Colborough, we'll have the big 3 and can make some TMR, which will be good for us. Our livestock will be happy. So I did go ahead and get that done. That was one of those things that, I'd already done a baling video, so I didn't think you guys wanted to sit through me making hay. I don't even think I needed to make hay. I think I could have just made grass bales, having the silo extension mod or the bale extension mod in. I probably could have made grass bales. I know that you can, with the feeding technology, I do know that you can use grass, loose grass, just to make TMR with the feeding technology. I've never done it with bales, so I may make some grass bales just to try that out. Some of y'all might have already done that, but I do know you can do it loose grain, because when I was on My Big Country, I had the self-propelled mixer, and I had a bunker with just grass in it, and was able to make TMR using that. So I would think that if you can do it that way, you could do it with grass bales as well. And the grass bales would be cool to have for the sheep. Oops, 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 oops. Wow, that New Holland's already at 42%. Oops. Got in my field a little bit there. But you got to keep on your toes when you're doing this, though. It keeps you busy. Keeping both of them unloaded. And then moving machinery around. Of course, I'm rushing it a little bit just for the video, but let's bring this guy over to this field. I don't know what it is, but when I turn and face those buildings, I get a crazy amount of frame loss. I don't know why. Makes no sense to me. It's sort of annoying, though. Alright, so I'm not really going to worry about doing a course here. I think we're going to be fine. Alright. So yeah, Coldborough's coming right along. Doing pretty good with it. Oh, I know what else I was going to tell you guys. I'm messing around with the 128 mod. I did go ahead and install it to see how it works. And so far, I haven't had any issues with it. I'm sure there's no problem with it. I know some of you guys are already running the 128 mod. What is the 128 mod? There is a mod out, and it's 64 to 128. Basically, what it does is it allows you to run 128 fruits on the map versus 64. I've talked about that a lot with you guys as far as the UPK and issues that you'll run into. And so that's what I'm doing now so that I can run more UPK stuff. Because my game plan is to, let's get this guy out of the way. My game plan with this map, hang on. Wow, I had a pretty bad sneezing fit there. So my game plan with this map, because we're getting a bit long on it, and I really don't care. I play the game to play the game, and I make the videos while I play the game. It's no big deal to me. But I noticed that a lot of people, they tend to keep their video segments or their videos on the farms. They don't really get up over 20, 30 videos. We're pushing 50 shortly here on North Brabant, and I'm not sure what you guys want to do. If you want me to continue the series on this particular map and just add some more stuff into it, or if you want me to start looking for another map to do. I'm gonna, Coldborough is. I'm playing Coldborough for me, just because I wanted to play it for a long time. But I don't know. Should I start looking for another map? Are you guys tired of this particular map? Want to see a new map? I know probably for most people doing YouTube stuff, it's a matter of keeping it fresh and keeping some variety on there. I do things a bit different than other people do. I don't change my equipment out every day so that you're seeing new equipment every day, which I know people who do that. I'm just not about that. I'm going to play the equipment that I like to play. I'll add in some, like renting this thing. I'll add in some stuff here and there, but for the most part, I'm going to stick with what I'm playing with, and we'll do some different things on different maps, Maybe it's all Fendt equipment on Colborough, and then it's all John Deere equipment on another map. So that's just kind of the way it is. But if you guys are tired of this map, let me know. I'm certainly not. I find new ways to keep it fresh, and part of it was doing slurry this time. Now that we've got our situation where our operation's big enough that we can keep some silage going, keep the BGA going, and have plenty of slurry to do all these fields, I think the slurry operation's kind of fun. Getting the money up to where you can get more equipment and do multiple combines in the field, gang plowing, things like that. That keeps it entertaining to me. So my thought was I could put the 128 mod in and start adding in some more things like greenhouses, the lettuce house, and really bring this up to a bigger operation that's more than just the agriculture, and go from there with this particular, because I do like the UPK stuff. Alright, so we're going to move this guy down to the next field, which is a long transition. Because if you remember, I have to start this field down by the road to the chicken house. If I don't, my unloading ends up in the trees over there, which is a pain. So we end up having to start in that southeast corner down here, just to get the route cut through those trees. Now, it only matters for this first combine. What I can do is, again, because we're using auto combine and it'll sniff out everything, I can start this guy here, and then I can start the new hauling back down at the other end. They won't be like right on top of each other, but it would work. Alright, so he's rolling. And this guy needs to run down here. Because I can't tab into the new hauling, I might as well tab into this guy and run down to the new hauling. And then I can fire up the new hauling, get it started, and then worry about grain transport. Really, though, I ought to transport grain. Oop, don't run into that guy. Don't want to damage our rental, do we? Be getting a letter from the guys about how I tore up their equipment, how unhappy they are, have to pay a little bit extra on it. Alright, we'll get that rolling. So I'm going to run this guy to the grain silo. And if those two hit 100%, they're far enough apart it won't matter. And we'll just get this guy unloaded, set it in place, and then I can go worry about dumping everybody off. There's this thing called a road there, Moose. You could get in it. Alright, so when we get done with this, we're going to have plenty of barley. Watch us never get another high demand for barley. Oh, yeah. So I've got 4 fields left that need to be planted, and really not sure what to put in them. I thought about going ahead and putting the rye in there since we had the high demand on rye. Don't really know. See how bad these mirrors are? I cannot see the trailer to know if I'm backing it straight in to the oh, there it is. Yep. Still doesn't have it in there enough. Here, I'm messing around with this and I should be getting it going. Those mirrors need to be tilted in just a little bit more on the sides. And they'd be just about right. And then that way you would be able to see the rear of the trailer so you could see where it was going. So yeah, mirrors are cool. They're just not functionable. I mean, they're aimed in your blind spot, basically. So, yeah, if a car was trying to pass me, I would see it. But they don't do me any good trying to back this thing up. Alright, so I need to do the same thing I did with that other field with this one. Just pick a spot here where I can drop this guy and be able to set him in the same spot each time. I think right in here, use that. Just going to use it so I line the front of the cab up with the side of that tower, and that way I'll be able to put this thing in the same spot every time. Alright, that one's full, the other one's full, so let's get to this guy and do some unloading. Get around here. Oh. I think this guy will sit here while I unload, so let's pull in like so. I don't think he'll restart until he's 100% empty once he comes to a complete stop. The only problem with starting the 2 combines like what I did for this field is they're so far apart now that when it comes time to unload them, you're running all the way around the field. Alright. So we'll run over here and catch the New Holland, get it emptied. And it probably doesn't hurt to let these guys run to 100% and empty them because, in all honesty, they're going to fill up at about the same rate. So they're not going to catch up with one another when they're spread out this far. If they were right on each other, it'd be a whole nother story. Which me, because I, kind of want to get it realistic or more realistic-ish. I want to run them as close to each other as possible. This guy is full. So we'll take him over here and dump him real quick. And then we'll come back and grab the New Holland. So anyways, hope you guys are enjoying this video. It's a different way of doing it. It's not the same old, so I thought I would do something different for you guys. So I'm just going to come right here. Let's whip around through this tree line. And get right here. Clear out our course. Start course recording. Get my little pipe out here so it's out. Have that dump into the trailer. I don't know what caused me to have that sneezing fit. Since then, man, my sinuses are bothering me. I'm gonna have to go take a Claritin or something. Set my weight point here in case we do this for real. And as soon as we're unloaded, we'll just drive it off into the field. That New Holland's gonna fill up pretty quick. But the case is right here. Alright, so all I got to do is really just pull this off just a little bit. Set it right back into the field. And stop my recording. Since the case is right here, we'll go ahead and empty him. Even though the other one's at 90%. Tell you what, doing it this way, you're constantly doing something. You're not sitting around wondering what you're gonna do next. That's good enough. Peel off and go get the New Holland. Alright, so looking ahead, I gotta take advantage of that high demand on wood chips. We don't do a whole lot of forestry, so probably in the next video I'll do a lot of this off screen and get it done, or I might even just come back and fully automate this part of it, and we'll go drop some trees, get a wood chipper, make some wood chips, take advantage of that. We do have I think I've got like 40,000 liters of wood chips in storage, so I can take some advantage of that. Wood chips. Let's see. How do I... There they are. 84,000 liters of wood chips is what I've got in storage. So we can take advantage of that high demand on wood chips, but at the same time, we might as well take advantage of that. And, we've got all those new trees that have grown in and have matured. We could go drop some of those and do a little wood chipping. I don't know. Make a little money off of that. Because we don't really have any income coming in right now with the silage all cleaned out. And I don't have Sven mowing grass to compensate for the hired help here, so it wouldn't hurt to take advantage of that and get a little income coming in. So we might do a little bit of that in the next video. We've got the canola to harvest. And then by the time we do all that, we should have the corn starting to come in. One video is going to be just chaffing and cutting corn with the New Holland forge harvester. Because some of y'all have expressed desire to see it in action. So, that will happen. Alright. So here's what I was talking about the other day about give me the option to do things the way I want to do it. Now I'm gonna do this legit, and I'm gonna plow around it, but the automation would have sat there and taken forever to go around it. That's the reason I'm doing it myself. But give me that option. If I don't want to do this legit, give me the option to, just drive straight through that tower, which the guys who did this map, at least they got that part right. Alright, so back onto the automation there. And then I need to spool off and go grab that New Holland. Always working. And this will fill this guy up. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit out of the New Holland here. We'll go dump this into the trailer, which should fill up the man. Should fill up. Take it to the man. So yeah, then I'll put this guy on course play while I go dump the other guy. Alright, so I'm going to run over here to the field side container, drop this load. I'll take it to the grain depot or the grain silo. Alright, so drop that in there. And then I'll drop this guy into the field. Tell him to drive course. He'll go off and do his thing. And we'll go do our thing. Alright, so he'll go tend to the combines while I go take this to the grain storage. And just keep on keeping on. Alright guys, well I hope you've liked this video and have enjoyed it. It's probably a little lengthy at this point, but that's okay. It give you more to watch, break up the monotony of your day. And we'll be back tomorrow as always. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a like. It does help me out as I work to grow this channel. And of course, if you're a new viewer and you're just checking out this video, feel free to subscribe. I do a new video each and every day, so there's new content always popping up. Yeah. And we'll get another one out tomorrow. I don't know where I'm at this point. It looked like it was headed for the opening. I don't see it on the other side. So the New Holland's full. The JCB should head it to it. Oh, it's dumping it now. Good, good, good. All right. Excellent. All right, guys. Again, thanks for watching. Do hope you enjoyed this. I'll run this back to the field, and then I'll take back up. And like I said, I'll probably get a couple of fields harvested. Tomorrow's video, probably do a little wood chipping, and maybe automate these guys to do the canola. And so I'll end up having to babysit them. Because you know that as soon as I start doing something else and leave everything to automation, everything will go awry. And I'll have issues after issues after issues. But it would be nice for everything just to seamlessly work for a little bit. Alright, and so what I was talking about is bringing this tractor back here right next to the road, line up the front with the tower, and that way I know my course plate course is in the right place. It's not really going to matter though, because I'm going to be over here taking care of business. Now here's the one thing you have to think about with drive control. Don't take over this vehicle again until it's out of the field. Otherwise, you'll be tearing up part of your field. See what that guy does. Alright, well, I keep meaning to wrap this video up and then I get sidetracked doing stuff. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.